here. I just want to do a quick recap of what I learned tonight. This was session. Oh gosh, what session was this? What week was this? I'm so sorry. Session 7 of the class, Becoming a Holy People, and so yeah. So I'm going to go over quickly what we learned tonight, what we studied tonight. We learned about the structure of entire sanctification. We went over some of the denominational distinctives. Again, our denomination is the Nazarene denomination. There's a link below in the description box to our core beliefs if you're interested in looking those up. We looked at the distinctives from our denomination of entire sanctification. Things like entire sanctification frees us from depravity. It is characterized by entire devotion to God. It requires subsequent growth, which must be intentionally nurtured. And this growth is growth in Christ-like character, which I love that. We talked about the process. They call it the Ordo Salutis, or the order of salvation. Some call it the way of salvation. And basically it's like the order in which things happen. So like, first you get saved, you ask Jesus into your heart, and then you progress onward. And so we had a couple of charts and graphs that showed the progress and the order salutis. We talked about some of the cautions, things we should be cautious about when it comes to entire sanctification. It says it's, let's see, the new revivalism of the 19th century that preaches that salvation and entire sanctification are available now for the taking. It must be stated that the danger exists to fix and solidify that model of the way of holiness, and we can't do that. So we should not put the doctrine of entire sanctification in a box or propagate the notion that anything outside of our defined parameters is suspect. We can't assume anything that's outside what we know is automatically suspicious. We can't do that. And then we went on to lesson 10, which is the means to the end. And it says, through saving grace, we are Christian through and through, and yet we are always in the process of becoming Christian, becoming what we are. We talked about the means of grace, which John Wesley wrote a sermon on the means of grace. There are 3 categories into which Wesley has placed certain activities. You have the general means of grace. You have the instituted means of grace, and you have the prudential means of grace. We talked about spiritual formation, and that is derived from Galatians 4:19, where St. Paul wrote, "My dear children, for whom I am again in the pains of childbirth until Christ is formed in you." And the word form there refers to the essential nature of a person, not the outward form. And he's praying that the inward nature of the Galatian believers become so like Christ that one can say that Christ has truly been formed in them. We talked about the sanctifying sacrament, which is where we ended our study tonight. We talked about how entire sanctification is like a sacrament, like the Lord's Supper, baptism. And it says, let's see, the Lord's Supper is a sanctifying ordinance, a sign of the continuity, necessity, and availability of God's enabling, and says our characters are formed and sanctified by these instruments of divine activity. We just talked about the sacraments and how they each allude to entire sanctification as well, and have elements in them of that. So it was a really good lesson. I asked a couple questions, made a couple comments, but apparently our last class is next week. So we are wrapping up our class next week. So yeah, I had a really good discussion with the teacher after the other students left the Zoom meeting. I was able to talk to him about some of the things I'm having a hard time with and struggles I'm having in the class, and he was a huge help to me and a huge encourager to me. So it was a great class, and so I need to get my reading assignment done, my writing assignment done. We have 2 more assignments to do in this current class. Then I still have 1 assignment due at the end of this month from the class that ended a few weeks ago, which I still have not. I've started on it, but haven't got it done yet. So I've got plenty of work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here and get this uploaded. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. And yeah, the information on the Nazarene Church is down below in the description box if you want to check it out. And I will see you guys in my next video. God bless you. Bye.